This video is for all my YouTube followers. As most of you know, I published my very first book for Tercona back in 2015. Well, late 2015. It was called Tercona Book 1, Our New Home. In 2019, I switched to comic books with Tercona comic number 1, Who is Thea Baymont. And as most of you here know, from now on, I'm only going to do comic books. But the whole point of this video is, I've been doing this since 2015. One of my biggest goals of this whole series is, I want to turn it into an animated series. A lot of fans on Facebook and everywhere else on social media have said this would make a great animated series. So if I ever do sell it to Disney, HBO Max, Netflix, or whatever, I have just a couple of small stipulations before I say, okay, here are the rights to it, let's get to work. The number one stipulation is, I want to be a part of it. Not only did I create Tercona, but I want to be able to write some of the episodes. I want to be able to voice act some of the characters. Now, if I'm doing all the writing and doing other stuff, I can't do a main character, obviously. But I would love to voice Tercona's dad, and maybe a couple of background characters, and maybe a couple of villains. None of the main characters, though, I'm sure will be way too busy. Stipulation number 2. I don't want her hair color to change. Now, obviously, most people know by now Tercona has long blue hair. Let's compare Tercona's long blue hair to other famous characters with famous hair color. Rapunzel has long blonde hair. Kim Possible has orange hair. Well, I consider her a redhead too. And Ariel from The Little Mermaid also has red hair. Now, imagine if you change the hair color of these characters. They wouldn't look the same. So if you change the hair color of Tercona, she wouldn't look the same. Tercona's hair color cannot change because I've been doing this since 2015 and people know her as a superhero with long blue hair. And here's stipulation number 3. I would like the name of Tercona's alter ego, Paige, to remain the same, if at all possible. There's not too many alter ego characters in comics and in superheroes named Paige. I figured it'd be kind of different. And by the way, if you look at Miraculous Ladybug, Marinette and Miraculous Ladybug both look kind of the same. I made Tercona's blue hair and mask totally different from Paige. So when people look at her, they're not going to think anything, oh, you look like that girl. It bugs the hell out of me that nobody can figure out that Marinette and Ladybug are exactly the same people. Her hair's the same, her hair color's the same, she sounds the same. Tercona and Paige may be the same people, but they act like two different people to make sure the other characters don't know that she's a superhero. Stipulation number 4, and this one's kind of important. This is Brittany Garcia. She's not only Latina, but she's also a lesbian. I am not going to sell this to anybody unless I know there's representation, not only with Latina characters, but also with the LGBT community as well. Because to me, representation in all nationalities is important. And finally, stipulation number 5. I know when somebody pitches the idea to a network, and they get so many episodes per season, I'm hoping to have a concluded series, like Kim Possible, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and of course the most recent one, Amphibia. They'll have very good last episodes. If I ever sell Tercona to a network, I want it to be complete. It would be great if it was 3 seasons long, with the 3rd season being the complete and last season, but I don't want to leave anybody hanging. That is very important, because a lot of people are really bugged right now about a lot of these cartoons that have a cliffhanger at the end of season 2 and there's no season 3. God, that's so frustrating. So yeah, if by some miracle I get to sell this to Netflix, Disney, or whoever, those are my 5 small stipulations. I don't think they're that big. It's not like I'm asking for, gazillion dollars or something. It's not like I'm asking for major changes. I'm willing to work with people, but I do have a few small stipulations because I want to make sure Tercona is done right. So now I have a question for you. Do you think I'm ever going to be able to sell this original property of Tercona to a network if I have these stipulations? I don't think it's much to ask, and I really do want this to turn into a cartoon someday. I'm willing to work with a network, but I don't want to just hand off my baby and say, here you go, now ruin it. You know what I mean? Anyway, comment below and let me know what you think about my small stipulations about Tercona if I ever sell it to a network. That's all for now. Thanks all for watching. Bye-bye.